video for June 2025. Please keep in mind that if this Sagittarius Sun reading doesn't resonate with you, check back to your moon and rising sign. That may work better for you. I'm pressed for time to finish these before the artificial date that I set for myself. So we're going to get straight into the reading. I have with me the Radiant White deck, the Kippers for clarification should we need. Got them turned upside down. And I will be pulling an oracle card from the SAGITTARIUS Oracle, known as the Black Dove Oracle. So let's turn the camera around and we can get started. I tell you what, gardening has kicked my butt over the past week. And I'm not finished yet. I still have to go outside and finish making my beds. Veggie beds. Okay, this will be 9 cards. It's so hot here. 9 cards down. Let's cut the deck. First card is the King of Cups. I don't know why it's being all funny, my camera. If I can get it to focus. Yeah, there we go. 10 of Wands. Seven of Pentacles. Ace of Cups. Two of Pentacles. Eight of Cups. The Emperor. The Knight of Page of Swords. The Fool card. What is over the entire reading? The energy of the whole reading? The Death card. Number 13. So what do I have? I have 2 Pentacles. Two Pentacles, 3 Cups, a Sword, a Wand, and 2 Major Arcana. Now this is interesting. Right in the center, let me explain. Cups represent simply the emotional quotient, how you feel about a person, thing, or situation. Wands represent your focus, your passion, your determination. Coins represent either finances or the doing of something, the third dimensional aspect of life. Swords represent thoughts, beliefs, perceptions, ideas, communication. And the Major Arcana represent, I just heard them say something, I'm sorry. Major Arcana represent your spiritual lessons. This is strange. So, right in the center, we have the Two of Coins. And the Two of Coins, it's a 2. So, 2s always represent an option, a choice, a decision, a duality, an opposition, and a crossroads. A decision has to be made at some point. But in this card, I feel that whatever is happening like in a circular manner. It keeps going around and around in circles. This card can stand for handling 2 situations at once. So far, you've done a good job of doing that. It can be working like 2 jobs or 2 relationships, but splitting your time and doing 2 different things. But I feel that you are all at sea on your emotions. Can you see the boats in the background being tossed around on the... It also says there may be some kind of message comes in that you don't understand what it is. Could it be about travel? I don't know. So the cards are read past, present, future. Past, present, future with the interplay of the cards. Up here I have a King of Cups. And as a profession, he's usually like a counselor, a therapist. But he's supposed to be someone you can trust. He has deep emotions and can empathize with you. But sometimes he can be addicted to substances. Drink too much, drug too much. But usually he's a somewhat steady kind of guy. The next card is a 10. 10 of Wands. And 10s always represent focus on completion of events. In this instance, we see somebody heavily burdened with too much to do. I call this card the too many irons in the fire card. It looks like somebody has been either helping somebody along, doing the work for them, or taking the responsibility of doing the work for them, which can lead to resentment, hatred, being overworked and tired all the time. And you take away a person's lesson on cause and effect when you do everything for them. I don't see this card as a burden. I see it just like you're trying to handle too many things at once. And so if you divide the wands in half, the burden is half now, and you can see where you're going. This person is walking towards some kind of dwelling. You're just putting one foot in front of the other. The 7 is a number of pause and reflection. It says you got to think about what you're doing before you step out. And in this case, the other meaning of the card is waiting for the harvest to come in. Be patient. Don't try to rush things. But if you look at the farmer in this card, he has a bush with 6 things on it already that he's scented and it's growing. It looks well. And a 7th element is being offered to him. A 7th thing. But if you're gonna be stopping and thinking about what you're doing, you have to think about, are you gonna have enough energy, time, sweat equity to put into tending this thing before you put it on your bush? We have another offer coming in, the Ace of Cups. So 2 offers are coming in. This is in effect the Ace of Pentacles at his feet. Remember I said two things at once, juggling. So the Ace of Cups, all aces are simply opportunities. And cups represent the emotional quotient that you feel about something, someone. So this is an opportunity for you to get a fresh emotional start. It can even be a catharsis where you have been crying a lot about what's going on, releasing emotions. But you have to be in the right place, in the right frame of mind to pick up on these opportunities. There's not a promise of anything good, because the Ace of Cups can represent new love, new jobs, new introductions to people, new opportunities. But then we come to the 8, and all 8s are karmic numbers. First, they can deal with, they're called money numbers, but it can also be about delays, hassles, and obstacles. Things not just going smoothly. This is the only eclipse moon in the deck. So maybe this, because it's going toward the future, I don't have the eclipse dates right now. So maybe this is future eclipses that are coming up in a month or two. I think we have in July. What strikes me about the card is that the person walks off in the dead of night, leaving his 8 cups behind. And this can be a situation where you have invested a lot of time, money, and effort, but it still hasn't changed. So therefore, the card counsels that you just leave it together, you leave it alone altogether. Because you obviously feel there's something else out there, something better, and so you may go off to find it. Now we come to the Emperor. It's a 4, and 4s represent stable foundations. So he is the archetypal father of the tarot. So he can be a philanthropist, he can be like a mentor, he can be like a coach. Usually he's well known in the neighborhood, in the community. He does a lot of good things. He's known for great and sound business advice. But if he's in his negative, he can be his way or the highway. He represents logic and reason. You have to apply logic and reason to whatever the issue is, so that you will come out in a good way. And listen, I think these are two separate guys, because an emperor is much more than a king to me. I think this is two separate people. Or the king will have to embody the principles of being the emperor. He didn't become the emperor by being a pushover, but to everybody, letting people walk all over him. And he didn't become an emperor by being a tyrant. So, the Page of Swords, this is a message. All pages are simply messages, but it's a message that you have to think about, because it's a sword. It involves thoughts, perceptions, beliefs, ideas. So whatever the message is, you're going to have to think about it. He is the Page of Swords, a student of communication. He doesn't mind getting closer to the truth, communicating if it's going to get him closer to the truth. And then we have the Fool card. And it's very pivotal that it's at the end, right here, the outgoing energy. The Fool card stands for new adventures, unexpected things happen, new skills, new travel, new beliefs. Maybe your beliefs, you have outgrown your old beliefs, and you're about to embark on a new spiritual journey. Yes. Where you are able to utilize these new things that you're doing. But the warning is, don't be foolish. Now over to the right here we have the death card. And death is not usually translated as that in the tarot. It just means a transformation from one state to another. So your old life, way of life, perhaps it needs to be discarded and you have to get a new life. But no matter what happens, you cannot stop death. Everything dies. And you have to be able to roll with the punches, so to speak. You will renew yourself. The universe doesn't like a static situation. So it may seem like a sad thing, but out of the old will come the new. And look at the card. There's a king dead right there. There's a pope begging death not to come. The woman is on her knees praying or crying. And the only person who's not afraid is a child, because he doesn't understand death. In the background we see two towers. And there's a sun coming out in the background. So again, it's another message that it's the darkest before the dawn, or the sun will always rise. But you can't stop death. You can't stop change, no matter how hard you try. So it's best not to try. Go with the flow. Now I can read every card except for the two court cards as they relate to the 10 of Swords, 7 of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, 2 of Pentacles, 8 of Cups, as they relate to the two major arcana in the spread itself. Maybe I can get more messages out of it. But definitely it's a big change coming. The first thing I want to do is read to you the meaning of the Fool card at the end of a spread. Because it's two places, one at the beginning and one at the end. At the end of the tail end of a reading, it signifies that you are at the very beginning of a journey. Circumstances will come about that will force a change in direction. Okay? It's going to force a change in direction. Let's look at the cards. The 10 of Wands with the Fool. It's telling you to look carefully into a situation, as you may have misjudged or miscalculated a situation that needs reconsideration and correction before it is able to come to positive fruition. The 7 of Pentacles. With the Emperor. It is a message to not be overly concerned if you meet disapproval from your partner or loved ones. Do not allow it to bother you too much. Maybe the decision to do something else. The Ace of Cups. Tells me nothing. The 2 of Pentacles. tells me nothing. And now the Eight of Cups. Tells me nothing. So I'm not going to put any clarification cards on this because I don't really see anything negative here. I see some trials and tribulations, but I think it's going to be for someone. Look, you know, you have this knighting here, an offer, another offer, what you feel great about, to do something different, and it tells you you're at the beginning of your journey, but there's some kind of walking off and sadness. I don't know if it's about a new job or a new position or a new responsibility. That's what you're being offered. These are, I told you at first, these were two separate guys. I also think it's the same guy. Two things can be true at once. So I'm gonna pull the Black Dove cards, but I have to tell you that they're divided into three groups. A core issue, which says that every challenge has a source, and that source is always on your mind. Thus, the core issue identifies where there is a fracture or miscalculation in logic related to the question or issue. That's what to tell you. Projection cards reflect justifications and rationalizations in your mind that are preventing you from seeing the core issue. These justifications and rationalizations are masks of excuses that are placed on truth, that if not removed and worked out will eventually cause you internal suffering and or quite possibly external hardship. Finally, we have the action cards. They are divided into two groups. The action cards give advice about what to immediately do next in relation to the query or problem. They are divided into two groups, which are the blue action cards relate to the suggested internal state of mind that you should foster surrounding the question, in relation to the question. And the red action cards relate to the external response to the situation, with logic being that thoughts always precede actions and therefore are causal agents that affect everything afterwards. So let's pull you a card. Oh, well, it kind of flew out. It's a core issue. It says unity. Page 62. And there's a series of questions that we have to ask when a core issue comes out. Are you about to make a choice that would positively influence your life, or are you blindly following what feels good right now? Have you considered the big picture? Are you denying an opportunity to unify with others for superficial or negatively discriminatory reasons? Are you truly comfortable with the different aspects of yourself? Are you looking for someone or something else to complete you? Are you merely pretending to be unified with others? And what are the long-term consequences of your masquerade? And that's what I have for you, Scorpio. Until next time, be good.